must you be a Hindu in order to practice Advaita? The thought is a Christian, the thought is a Muslim, but do you know what the paradox is? That Buddha was not a Buddhist and Jesus was not a Christian, and so on. Sometimes we dance with the mind, sometimes we dance as the void. This is how the satsang today will be called. Okay. Let's start. Namaste. Namaste to Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, to Sri Mujiji Baba, to Sri Ramana Maharishi Papaji, to Jesus, Buddha, Mahananda Moima, to all those who touch the untouchable. Namaste to the Supreme, Absolute, God the Father, or any other name you want to give it. And Namaste to all of you who will listen to this satsang. We will start with the classic sound. Okay, my dear, you say as follows. So, I have a question. Must someone be a Hindu in order to practice Advaita? I don't want to pretend to be a Hindu because I feel it would be an insult for the Hindu. Let me answer on bits for each phrase, because I see it's a bit longer, your message, your question. It's a question that you developed and wanted to clarify, and that's very good. Must someone be a Hindu in order to practice Advaita? Advaita is not Hindu. Advaita Vedanta is not Hindu. Is all of the whole. Is as if you would say, is it absolutely necessary for a tree to have roots? And of course, the question is essentially without sense, because never a tree cannot be apart from its roots. Advaita Vedanta is not about what you practice. Advaita Vedanta is about what you are. Is this non-separation from the whole? Is the unity of everything? Or how many I say often is one, not two. I don't want to pretend to be a Hindu because I feel that would be an insult for the Hindu. Don't do that. If you want to pretend something, pretend to be the self. Be the self, because you are the self. Don't be any role, no hint. Don't be the role of a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian or the role of a Buddhist. Because always one of these roles will fight with the other ones. A Buddhist will fight with a Christian will fight with... Why? Because although in essence All these great mystics, Buddha, Jesus, and so on, said the same thing and had the same realization. People continue for thousands of years to maintain the sense of separation because all they are looking for is a religion, is a belief, and of course they are not looking for their true nature, which is perfect unity, undiluted by thought. The thought is Christian, Muslim, but you know what the paradox is? Buddha was not a Buddhist. Jesus was not a Christian, and so on. But if Buddha would come now here, he would be immediately turned into a Buddhist. If Christ would be here, he would be immediately turned into a Christian. Advaita Vedanta is not about what you know, what role you can play, but it is about what you were 7 days after the moment of your birth. And to go even more profound, Advaita Vedanta is about what you were 7 days before the moment of your conception. You were witness to your own birth. You already had 9 months old. And 7 days after your birth, you knew nothing of all these. No form of knowledge were tainting your pure being as yet. I don't want to pretend to be a Hindu because I feel it would be an insult for the Hindu. So I was saying, don't do that as long as you feel it is useful. And of course, I feel it's normal, natural. In a way, everyone grows in a certain value system, and this element somewhere at the periphery of the being remains. But deep in the center, at the core, Advaita Vedanta needs to be one and the same for all of us. It indeed arose on a Hindu world, but it's not about the Hindus. Christ is not about the Christians. Buddha is not about the Buddhists. It is about what we are, and what we are, we all are, because we all are one. I hope you managed to follow me. I know that Hinduism is not just a religion, but a lifestyle that includes everything, starting from the clothes you're wearing to the food you're eating, as well as rituals, traditions, and various celebrations. Yes, it is only if you have fallen in love. Sometimes it happens that a Christian falls in love with a Muslim and starts to enjoy, even falls in love with all these rituals and so on. But it's not about what we are. This is still not about what we are. This is about our soul search. Sometimes our soul searches says, okay, even in Christianity, there are a lot of movements, not to call them sects. Sometimes go from Catholics to Orthodox, from Orthodox to Baptists, from Baptists to Jehovah's Witnesses, and so on. And all this flux, all this flow is somehow okay. Is it okay? Because it is not about what you are. It is about various roles that consciousness simply hosts in itself, and they are okay. You mustn't change your religion in order to find out who you are. You don't have to change your belief in order to find out who you are. I am not Indian. I am Armenian. Very good. And I have my own culture and traditions, and my very own traditions. Very well. I do not believe in the literal existence of certain gods and goddesses. It is not about this. Advaita Vedanta is about who you are and not about belief. Or your belief, about your belief. Your belief is okay. I don't know what you believe in Armenia, but no matter what the tradition, the religion, the belief, it is okay. You must find out the identity of the believer, not the belief. The belief is okay. But when you find out the identity of the believer, only then you will truly realize what Buddha wanted to say, what Jesus wanted to say, what the one who wrote the Vedas wanted to say, what Krishna wanted to say in Bhagavad Gita, and so on. Because they all speak of one and the same God. Still, I agree very much. I agree with the teachings, with the philosophic and spiritual teachings of Advaita in connection with the nature of reality and God. It's beautiful, it's very good you have this attraction, but know that agreement is not what you're looking for. Today a man agrees that it's beautiful that is sun, and tomorrow because it rains he won't agree with it because he can't sunbathe. But essentially the sun doesn't care about our agreement or disagreement. In ourself, agreement and disagreement arises and is natural. It is not about what you are, it's in what you are. I agree very much with the philosophical and spiritual teachings of Advaita, its nature of reality and God. I know that there is a very popular movement, Neo-Advaita. I don't know if you know, but this pseudo-philosophy is more based on the teachings of the New Age gurus of the West than on the teachings of the tradition and the writings of the Vedanta. Essentially, there is no difference between what we are. And I would like you to understand one element that's very clear. You. What are you looking for? To discover yourself or follow a tradition? Like implicitly the tradition of Advaita Vedanta is as well. Because if you aim to follow follow a tradition like Advaita Vedanta, you will be in conflict. Why? Because the presence is right here, right now. What you know, the tradition of Advaita Vedanta, is somehow then and there. But Advaita Vedanta, the implicit realization of the fact that absolutely everything is one, is right here, right now. Many times I often say that when you, as me, disappear, Advaita Vedanta appears. When the one who searches disappears vanishes in the search, it realizes it's the eternally searched for. It's the one who has been eternally searched for. It's a paradox. I hope you will understand. I hope you'll be able to follow me. This thing with the teachings of the New Age and the gurus of the West and so on, it is very good you have this discernment, and at the same time I'm telling you, just don't look at it. Don't look at it. Look at what you are, because that's what you want to find out, your true nature. And there's no need for you to go somewhere outside. What you need to do is to see what can this I inside be, the one who sees all these. I see, I believe, I choose, I have my culture, I have my belief, and so on. The one who says this I, who is he? Who am I? Is what Advaita Vedanta asks you to see, not what the others do, not if they are fake or real. Why am I telling you this? Just because Advaita Vedanta is fresh, is always alive. It must be here and now. It can't follow religion or tradition, including the Hindu one, because it is life. Life is neither Hindu or Muslim or Christian or Buddhist or. All these appear free in the life, and when we let them flow freely through life, we see that they are very good, they are okay. When we cling to one thought, an idea about life, automatically I separate myself from life and I start to suffer and start searching again. The mind starts searching again to live its life, starts looking again at how to live its life. How? By clinging to another thought in life. Maybe it would be better to change my belief, my tradition, my religion, to become Hindu. I hope it makes sense what I'm telling you. Someone at some point told me, you should be confirmed by a master. You should be confirmed by a master because you are not on the same line as Sri Muji or Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj or so on. But the truth does not have a line. The truth does not have a path. The truth is open to all paths. It does not have a tradition, but embraces like a flower all traditions. Same as the petals of a flower. I don't know if you heard, there's a very beautiful flower. In Romania it is called Heart's Ease, viola tricolor, and it has 3 colors on it. Let's say that you are in a room, my dear, and all of a sudden 3 smells, 3 perfumes, 3 different perfumes of a flower come to you. But you remain contemplating, wow, which one should I choose? Just allow them to exist, to travel, because you yourself are the perfume of eternal life. If you realize that you yourself are the perfume of eternal life, you realize that you yourself are the space in which absolutely all these perfumes and fragrances and visions appear, and then you will be free from them. So I was saying that Advaita Vedanta, it is not about tradition, but it is about realization, it's about recognition. Sri Ramana Maharishi demonstrated this, Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj demonstrated this, Papaji, Sri Mujiji Baba, and so on. If we realize that freedom means freedom including of belief and religion, then we realize that religion and belief are free to appear in me. But I don't take them as being me, because then, of course, it means I'm separating from everything else, and then, look, I am Christian, so I'm not interested. Why would I answer to you? Because you're Buddhist or whatever you are, okay? But it is not like that. It cannot be like that. God is God for everyone. He's the God of all people. He loves with the same unlimited love. He loves everyone with the same unlimited love, and we all are God who believes itself to be a human being, and from here suffering starts. The moment you start believing yourself a human, automatically it means you've forgotten you are God, and the search, suffering starts. We do not realize that all these, the fact of being a human was a teaching from early childhood. All that you know about yourself, you were taught, so it is not you, they are your teachings. And you say of these gurus, of New Age gurus, just another pop culture that makes a mockery out of the spiritual traditions it claims to represent. I do not identify with it. I do not want to identify with it. Do not identify with anything, because no matter of what you identify with, it limits you. No matter what you identify with, you'll be in conflict. Remain unidentified and implicitly unlimited. Only the unlimited Only the space allows itself to host with maternal love a flower as well as a worm. The man knew, no. The man will say, no, I want the flower to be here. The worm, out with it, get it out of here right now. Although I am not Hindu, I reverently studied the Vedas, the Upanishads. Very well, if you feel to do that, very well. The most important moment of your existence will be the moment when you'll start again to study yourself, who you truly are. And for this, you don't need to go somewhere outside. Just use this exterior element. This conversation itself, it's of use to you because it points back to you. If the Vedas and what you read, the Upanishads and so on, you very beautiful say the epopeyas and the commentaries of Shankara, then it's exceptional. Yes, it's exceptional because Shankara points exactly at this, points towards what you are. Shankara's commentaries point exactly at what you are. They are extremely deep. I can apply the basic teachings of Advaita outside of Hindu. Can I apply the basic teachings of Advaita outside Hinduism? You are Advaita, you are the unity. Of course, that non-duality. Can I apply the basic teachings of Advaita outside of Hinduism? You are Advaita. Advaita is the non-duality. Of course, that non-duality. Of course, that the duality in any tradition, any religion will appear in non-duality. Out of Hinduism, of Christianity, Muslims, Islamism and so on. There is no issue here of applying the basic teachings of Advaita, but to see that you are Advaita, that you are non-duality itself. And then the flow of life will make certain elements to bloom within you, and they'll be exceptional. You say, outside of Hinduism, and I say it's natural. Advaita is not about Hinduism, Advaita is about freedom. And then the flow of life will make certain elements to flow through you, and they will be exceptional. You say, outside of Hinduism, and I would say it's natural. Advaita is not about Hinduism, Advaita is about freedom. In other forms of spirituality, as long as the person has the understanding of Advaita and the ultimate reality, yes, realize this understanding in a direct way, without a thought, and then you'll truly be free. Then you will realize where I point within you, because that land is a pathless land, and this is why it hosts all of the paths with a maternal love. If there were a path, then automatically it would reject all the other paths. But when you are free, when you are serene, when you remain in peace as space, you'll see that this space blooms more and more within you. And there's space for Christianity, and there's space for Muslims, and there's space for everything, for any of the 5 great religions of the world or any other belief or religion. Because if you do not have this understanding that you are the freedom in which all the great religions bloom freely and serenely within you, then automatically you will be in conflict. Anthony de Mello very beautifully said, if you want to become a martyr, marry a saint. If you want to become a martyr, marry a saint. Because what we try somehow is to copy this ideal of sainthood, and we do not see that we run after an image in our head about holiness, and at the same time we are holiness, that searches for holiness. I say often, what if you are the beloved of the beloveds? And you just believe yourself to be a human being gone to search for happiness. What if you just believe yourself to be a human being that searches for happiness? Because it is very little and automatically you'll be in conflict with the others. You then say, if the answer is no, please tell me so I don't speak silly stuff about Hinduism pretending that I am an Advaita follower. I told you, Advaita is not about Hindu. Advaita Vedanta is about freedom. It is not a monopole of a religion like Hinduism. Otherwise, know that essentially, I don't know what religion and belief is there, but let's say if here in Romania is Christianity, then Jesus is not of the Christians. Buddha is not of the Buddhists. He is freedom. He is consciousness. He is right here, right now. He's right here, right now, where you listen to my answer. There's no space where consciousness is lacking, where there's no consciousness, Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness, and so on. All the great mystics that realize that they are consciousness, they remained this recognition, this realization, because consciousness is the unborn itself. In consciousness is where everything appears, or if you want, is born and is reabsorbed, appears and disappears. This is the answer, this is my answer for you. And I hope you realize that it is not individual but universal. Direction in which I point you to look as deep as possible is within you. The truth must be within you because you yourself are the truth. That believe yourself to be the thought that appear now. I hug you with much love.
Namaste.
Namaste.